I know you are all awaiting my opinion of Carowinds because you've seen that I recently took a trip to Carowinds on my Instagram. Because I know you all are following me on Instagram. I know you're all following @RobsRidesVlog on Instagram. There's a lot to talk about, so I may as well talk about the first coaster that I experienced at the park. Was it the smartest decision? Yes and no. Let's just say it didn't give me the best impression of Carowinds, but did it do a good job at lowering my expectations for all the other rides? Yes, it did. Check. And also when I rode it, because it was the first ride, I had no other ride to compare it with, so it made it feel better. Vortex at Carowinds, let's go. After the huge resurgence of amusement parks and roller coasters in the 1960s and 70s, the 1980s gave birth to an experimental era of roller coasters. Companies like Aerodynamics, Schwarzkopf, Intamin, Togo, and Stengel Engineering made roller coasters after roller coasters, adding new found inversions and new elements. This creativity may be the established and continual growth of the amusement industry, sparking competition, or it could have been the effects of drugs from the 70s kicking in. Either way, in 1982, Togo, for whatever reason, decided to build stand-up trains and exchange them from standard sit-down trains on the existing coasters Dongai and Momanga standing and loop coaster in Japan. Yes, you can blame Togo for the reason why you can no longer produce children. Aerodynamics peeped and tried that with their coasters Scream Roller at Worlds of Fun and River King Mine Train at Six Flags St. Louis. But you know, whenever Aero tries to emulate another designer, it never turns out right, so those didn't work. Togo, the initiators of the stand-up trend, finally successfully brought the stand-up design, both track and train, to the United States with King Cobra at Kings Island in 1984. BOLLIGER and MABILLARD, a new coaster company after seceding from Giovanola, saw an opportunity with this design to get their name out there. Stand up, yeah, MABILLARD. I have the idea. What is this accent? Let's meet up for fondue and strudel, yeah? With this, B&M, having already worked with stand-up coaster Shockwave at Six Flags Magic Mountain, made their first coaster ever, a stand-up called Iron Wolf at Six Flags Great America, which is now the closing apocalypse at Six Flags America. Shortly after, B&M manufactured two more stand-ups, one debuting in 1991 as Vortex at Great America, owned by King's Entertainment Company at the time, and is now California's Great America, and the second debuting the following year as Vortex at Carowinds. This is right before Paramounts purchased King's Entertainment Company and took a ride on these new rides, excited about their purchase, and said, "What the hell did we just do?" Vortex opened as the first stand-up coaster in the South. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Nah, I never have seen. I done seen about everything if I seen a roller coaster ride where you're standing. That was meant to be a country accent, but ended up being an unsettling Southern black depiction. Sorry about that. I need to quit with these accents. So you walk into the park and you know exactly what coaster you're headed to. Yeah, that one that looks like a blue raspberry Jolly Rancher. Just waiting to just snatch all them blue ones before everybody else. So you make that right turn. And then Carowinds plays with your head as there's nothing but shops and whatever around. I don't even know. I'm just walking and I'm like, there's like no attractions and I've been walking forever. What is happening? I've been bamboozled. I should have just went left and just went on Intimidator, but no. This is wild. You're trying to tell me the only ride I can ride for miles is Rip Roaring Rapids? Carowinds, we just met. Why are you already trying to get me wet? Like, can we at least have a date first? But after going under a Levy tunnel, I spot my first victim. I see you, that red track looking like a sweet Twizzler, till you find out it's rough as red vines. It's a B&M, so you know it's reliable. But for some reason, it doesn't keep up with the rigor of the other 3 B&Ms at the park. You approach the sign for Vortex as it roars through that vertical loop. And you see it stand up and you're like, well, call me Seinfeld. You go through the queue line and there's nobody there. And so until you reach the stairs and you just stop and you're waiting in these stairs for like 5 minutes and you're like, what's going on? Why am I not moving? When you reach the station, there's only 6 cars or 4, so the capacity isn't the greatest. I guess it makes sense. But it's adorable, adorable little train. Crouch over the bicycle seat and strap yourself in, and then the ride op tells you to relax your legs and you feel sexually harassed. Seats adjust when you relax your legs. Apparently. Didn't for me. You proceed forward as your crotch says, you know this is a bad idea, right? You rise up the 90-foot lift hill. You see this nice treetop view of the back of Carowinds, the county fair and the Carolina boardwalk sections. Then you go through the pre-drop, which makes you forcibly bow. Then you swoop down that curved drop, allowing the train to grab snug on your midsection. Vortex, you own me. You take that vertical loop and you're like, oh shit, this is about to be fun. Then you go up this right turning hill and your body starts feeling like some beans inside of a maraca. Something ain't right here, hold up. You drop to the left and I don't know if I had floater or if the train was a damn James Bond martini. Then that corkscrew. Just pause everything. Just stop watching, just pause. Take a breather. What the fuck? That thing whipped me in shape, and that shape was a rhombus. That thing ready whipped me, cause it damn sure wasn't a cool whip. Then there was this helix with an S-curve in the middle. I don't really even know. All I can remember is I was getting the shit slapped out of me. My scrawny ass body. I am a little stick. I am too fragile for this. I am Tech 9 fragile. So I see this stand-up is more like Jim Carrey because this is definitely slapstick. So there was one last left turn and then it was the brakes. You sit there on the brakes like, ow. So I don't really know what to say about this ride. It has arrow syndrome. The smaller ones are the worst. Just the most vicious. Yeah, it's a really quick ride. It's not too tall, it has a decent speed, very short track length. The ride assaults your body in many areas, including the face, the shoulders, your feet flapping around, and your nuts, or vajayjay. I guess it would feel like being sucked into a vortex, you know, injuries and all, so I guess they stuck with the theme. I will say the first half was a good setup, and then it lost me. It's kind of like watching B-rate movies on Netflix. Usually the beginning's okay, and then as you're going along, you just realize this is just ridiculous. The only difference between a roller coaster and Netflix is that you can't just stop in the middle and say, forget this, and go to the next. So imagine if you're on Hulu and you just started a trash movie and you're just forced to watch the rest of it. I don't really regret writing it. I'd probably write it again with caution. I rate Vortex at Carowinds a unimpressive. Yeah. But how do you rate Vortex? Do you like it? Do you think I'm exaggerating the roughness? It's probably similar to like what I said about Vortex at Kings Island, even though there's a lot of reasons why I would prefer Vortex at Kings Island. Vortex at Kings Island and Anaconda, I rated them fun because they have some longer ride times and thrilling experiences, and they're sit down and your nuts aren't being, you know, dragged. But they are also kind of borderline because they can get rough at times, and if you're not used to riding rides like that, then you can get beat up. And I'm not used to riding stand-ups like this because the stand-up that I ride all the time is Georgia Scorcher, and it doesn't beat me up in the same way. Please like the video, hit that thumbs up, comment below, let me know what you think. Share the video, anybody that wrote this or is interested in writing it. Now you know how it feels. I'm Rob from Rob's Rides, keeping it 100 with all things amusement. And if you thought it was Jams 155 Entertainment, hit subscribe and I'll come back with a new video. Sometime.